Well, hello, everyone, and thank you for tuning in. This is episode 25 of Sold with Updike Pugh.
I'm Jeff Updike.
And I'm Weston Pugh. And today we've got a great set of homes. We're going to be looking at 4 new homes that have just hit the market. And we'll be all the way from far east Dallas. We'll travel through Oak Lawn up to Perry Heights, and then we're going to end up in North Dallas. Kind of give it a pretty good overview of what's happening right now.
Yeah.
So why don't we get started?
Okay. Our first home today is at 9918 Galway Drive, and this is out by the White Rock Lake area. It is on the eastern side of White Rock Lake. Great little neighborhood right off of Garland Road, right off of Peavy. It is near that the little greenway park down there that's called Lake Highlands Park.
Yep, and that's a great place where they do a lot of rugby and soccer. This is also close to Good Friends, one of my favorite restaurants called 20 Feet Seafood. You'll have to go find out why it's called 20 Feet. And then the Royal Pour for a great sunny afternoon. But it's a great area to walk and bike over to White Rock Lake. So what a great area.
Wonderful. The home itself is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. This one's been fully renovated, has a great drive up to it, sits way back on the lot, really a lush green yard already this year. It's a very typical floor plan that we're finding a lot of buyers are really drawn to right now, because you walk in and it's really a very, very wide open space. You get to see all the way into the kitchen, really all the way out through the back of the house, but it's still compartmentalized enough that you don't feel like you're just living in one big room.
No, I think what they've done, a lot of times what we need to see now is we need to see open concepts on these one-story ranches, and by doing that allows you to be able to see really great views from both the front and from the back, and they've done a good job of replacing the windows to kind of really enhance that. The flow of the floor plan is really what buyers are looking for today, as far as it has that front living room, and it coordinates with the kitchen with an island in between, and then the actual right there, the dining room on the right-hand side of the picture actually is separated by a small pony wall, but it's a really well-contained kitchen that has all the updates from a double oven, built-in microwave, gas cooktop, tile backsplash. It opens up to the backyard that has a covered patio that has a fireplace and has also started rough plumbing for a kitchen. So this is a really easy, functional, well-designed kitchen that really starts the heart of the home on this one.
Yeah, and they have done a really nice job in kind of keeping a lot of the elements people like the mudroom that connects to the garage in this one is a really great space that you don't normally find in the 50s ranch, and it just works really well. The master is on the back of the house and has a separate tub and shower, quartz countertops in there with double vanity or double sinks, great lighting. Just a really clean master bath.
And the front 2 bedrooms are actually connected by Jack and Jill. They're good size. They have the walk-in closets as well and the hardwood floors. One of the things that's interesting about this actual floor or this lot is that it's 0.34 of an acre, which is a little bit of an oversized lot for Dallas. And it lends itself to really great pool if you ever wanted to go back and add that.
And privacy. I mean, there's no one that can see in this backyard currently, and so it really is a great yard for a pool.
And that's just a great thing, because so many times when we go in different markets and there happen to be 2 stories around you, people really get frustrated. This one right here could go so much further if you wanted to make that backyard. It's just set up perfectly.
Absolutely. And this is priced at $569,000, which is about $262 a square foot. Really great value for Lake Park Estates. So give us a call if you'd like to see this house.
We'd like to say thank you, Beth Borman, for allowing us to highlight your home.
Yep.
So
thank you,
we're
Beth.
going to move into State Thomas, basically. And this is going to be 2619 Colby Street, Unit C. This is actually about as proper State Thomas as you can get.
It is really really close.
So this is one of those really walkable neighborhoods where when you find people that are asking for what could be probably almost without a car, comes in mind as one of the neighborhoods. If you're relocating from the suburbs, this is a great place because everything that you want to get to is right here, whether it's the grocery stores or you want to walk to the different entertainment. Moxie's is just around the corner over at the Crescent. And there's a lot more going on down there, from the great new steakhouses to the Starbucks Reserves.
There's barbecue.
Oh, there's so much in this area that I don't think that we could do it justice in a quick enough time to tell you what's happening. It would be just one of those places that's worth a drive. You do have really good connectors on the highway, so if you're commuting, this is a great place. And if you need to get to the airport, I would say you're probably a 10-minute Uber to Love Field. So getting around is not a problem in this neighborhood, whether it's on bike, scooter, or walking. This neighborhood has it for you.
Yep, it does. And the house itself is a 3-bedroom, 3.5-bath Perry home that was built in 2002. It's a little over 2,400 square feet. One of the things that I really like about this community is it feels so much just wider.
Yes.
I mean, you really don't feel like you are in a townhome when you walk into this.
So this neighborhood actually, or this complex right here, is going to be 4 on one side, 4 on the other. It's a little bit of an oversized driveway between the two buildings, and the front of each one of these buildings is really well landscaped. It is stacked as a 3-story, and the traditional design of this is going to be where, upon coming in the garage, you walk into an entry where the front door is off of, and then the second or the first bedroom is down, and that bedroom then has its own bathroom, walk-in closet, and it also opens up to your own private courtyard. So perfect for a small pet, but it's a good getaway space.
Yeah, really is. And then when you come up to the second level on this one, you have all of your living space there, and then you've got a half bath that is kind of tucked away
By the pantry.
around the corner by the pantry, out of the way.
Well thought
You know,
out.
yeah, it is, because in many of these floor plans, that half bath sometimes opens like right into the kitchen or
Yeah.
right into the living room, and this one was, I think, planned really well from that perspective. You can see here the wood floors that are throughout that second floor. This does have granite countertops, that really rich cherry red cabinetry that Perry Homes is known for. And it's just, it's also got, the living room is also on that level with another little small patio right off of that living room that kind of looks out over the front of the property.
Now, the great thing about this floor plan is that you have windows in the back and windows on the front that really allow for nice natural light. And when you go to the third floor is going to have the second bedroom and also the master. And so they're not actually sharing walls, which is a really big importance when looking in this type of living space. The master is a good-sized master. It has really great bathroom and walk-in closet, all spacious. The house from first to second floor has more than enough storage, so I don't think that would be an issue. And it comes with a 2-car garage, which in State Thomas is critical because you don't have to search for parking when you have that.
And one of the nice things I noticed is even this area now has gone where they have the reserved resident parking on
that's
the
right.
street. So
Need the permit.
Yeah, it's nighttime. While it is a kind of an entertainment district in many ways, you can have some assurance that you can find some parking there.
And this one is priced at $565,000. Comes in at $234 a square foot. And that is brought to us by Carrie Hill, one of my near and dears.
Yep, nice, Carrie. Thank you very much. Great listing.
Next one we're going to look at is going to be 3314 Hawthorne Avenue. And this is really an amazing one, so I'm going to let you start with it.
This is in the heart of Oak Lawn in the Perry Heights neighborhood. That is really one of the early settling places of Dallas. This community is called Park Place Townhomes, and it was built in the 60s, and they were converted to condos somewhere later on in their life. This is probably one of the nicer, better laid out units that I've seen in that complex. And 3 bedrooms, 2 full baths, 2 half baths, and
The big thing. This is it. It is, go ahead.
an elevator.
So this is really one of those things that when you have it, it is such a marketing extra. And so with 3 stories to be able to go from the first to the third and never take the stairs, it is it opens it up to so many different buyers. And I think that I just kind of want to tap on this real quick. The HOAs real quick. These HOAs include all utilities. They have maintenance men that are available that are licensed. You have a manager on site. There's 24-hour service for plumbing and HVAC emergencies. So there's a bunch of these things that go on that make this such a one of a kind. It's more, you're buying more than just the unit with this place, aren't you?
Yes, you are, and you're buying right next to a park. You are in a super well-established neighborhood. You're half a block from Whole Foods. You are half a block from the tennis courts. I mean, it's really a phenomenal space, and I think probably one of the better values in the townhome
Markets.
yeah, that I've seen.
Well, this one actually is well appointed. It has nice hardwood floors, custom built-in shelving throughout the unit. There is tasteful design throughout. Really nice extras. The eat-in breakfast nook dining area right here actually overlooks a large courtyard area that does connect into a 2-car garage as well. So that's taken care of. And on the 3rd floor, it's almost like the entire thing is just about the master. So you have a master seating area that connects to the bathroom. You have a large bedroom up there as well. And again, you have windows on either side. So it never feels dreary or drab in this place.
The windows that are in the on the 3rd level that look out to the west have really this real spectacular view because you're so high up, and that area in that section of Perry Heights, there aren't any 2-story homes that block your view.
Yeah. And you keep hearing us say Perry Heights is the neighborhood. If you haven't looked at Perry Heights, go ahead and Google it. It is one of the nicest neighborhoods in Oak Lawn. It is almost Norman Rockwell. And I will say this because I have been walking that neighborhood before, that they know who is and isn't in that neighborhood, and they have little people that will approach you and ask you what you're doing.
Yeah,
So
yep. And this is a great picture of the master bath here that is just so well appointed, and you can tell the cabinetry that's been brought in and made into the bathroom sink. The travertine tile that's done is just done spectacularally. They didn't really miss anything on this one, I don't think.
the taste level on this one is impeccable. So add that to Perry Heights, add that to the HOA, add that to your elevator, and you've got one heck of a townhome. And this one comes in at $435,000, which is 213 a square foot. Wonderful area, wonderful home, and we want to say thank you, Carrie Walton, for allowing us to highlight your home.
And then our last home today, we're going to zip all the way up to North Dallas. This is still inside the LBJ Loop, and it's at 4043 Shady Hill Drive. This is a really great area of North Dallas that's kind of situated between Midway and Marsh, just barely south of Forest. And there are this is in that we call it the private school corridor,
The Golden School Corridor.
Yeah, that is really from LBJ South and really between Midway and Inwood. There is whatever your desire of private school is, it's available to you there.
And for me, I always like to know where the grocery stores are. There are so many grocery stores up there that are brand new, whether it's the new Eatzi's over there by Royal China, whether you're going to Whole Foods. There's also Central Market, and there's also Sprouts. You have the top grocery stores that you're looking for in this area. So you will not go without in this neighborhood. No. Also, the restaurants are pretty great.
Not at all. And the house itself is a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. It's about 2,300 square feet. It is on almost just about a third of an acre. Has great setback on it, which many of these houses in North Dallas, that I think is one of the real defining factors of them is you get this really great house, but it's not bunched up on the street.
Absolutely.
So you feel like you've got space in both the front and the backyard. And this is a very traditional floor plan. Got the formal dining room, the formal living room. It has been done, the parts of it that have been redone have been done beautifully, and the parts that have not been redone have been maintained beautifully.
Absolutely. So in 2014, 2015 is when the kitchen was redone, and that included all new cabinets, new appliances, countertop, and black splashes. The other thing that they've done is they've also redone the master bathroom, and then they've recently repainted the house. So it basically is pretty much move-in ready. There's a really great shot of the family room. You can kind of see the rafters right there. I love the accent timbers that they put in the ceiling, and I believe this one were probably traditional with that. There it is right there.
Really great. Just a great iconic shot.
Yep. This one is actually, as Jeff was saying, is 0.37 of an acre. And we kind of break that down. That's going to be 146 deep by 109. So we see a lot in this area that are both renovations. But as we begin to see things change more and more in Dallas, we see developers eyeing these properties as well. So this would be one of those houses that could carry you on for the next 5 to actually 15 years,
Yeah.
given its current condition.
Absolutely.
So if you're looking for a home that's going to be in North Dallas, that's got that no stairs, open floor plan with plenty of yard, both front and back, and kind of a Norman Rockwall feel to it, this would be the one for you.
And this one's priced at $619,000. That's about $260 a square foot, which is right in that price point that we see this quality of house come in at. Hockaday Park, if you'd like to see it, give us a call, and we'd like to say thank you to Courtney Jabinski for letting us talk about her home today.
So that's our wrap on what the homes are that just came on the market here recently. If you'd like to know more information about any of these homes or to book a showing, please give us a call. We'd be happy to. If there's a home in your neighborhood that you'd like to see, we'd also like to help you with that. Give us a call, and we'll get you into that. What's
Great.
next?
So today, our second segment is going to talk about one of my favorite subjects in the world. Well,
Each to their own.
almost. This is about homeowners associations today, and I think one of the things I'd like to say in the beginning is that homeowners associations are not all bad.
No, they're not.
They have gotten a really bad rap, and there have been some bad management of homeowners associations.
That is correct.
There have been some badly run homeowners associations, and HOAs are kind of one of those things that, very few people talk about the good ones. The horror stories you hear are just that. They're the horror stories about the ones that are not run well, or that the HOA fees are not spent well. And really, I guess let's kind of start with the definition of an HOA.
Yeah, and this is just to kind of help everybody understand what we're talking about. So an HOA is an organization of elected property owners that administer the rules and uphold the covenants of a subdivision, development, or condominium complex in order to provide a common basis for preserving, maintaining, and enhancing. That was a mouthful.
It was a mouthful.
So what does that mean in layman's terms?
It really means that when you buy into a homeowners association, you're engaging. There is a body that takes over certain aspects of the ownership. And, if it's in condominiums, it might be that they take over the management of the hallways and the common space and the, blanket insurance.
Yep.
In a neighborhood, it might only be that they take over management of the common facilities, which might be the pool, or if they have a clubhouse or something like that. You can have a single family home and still be in a homeowners association.
You sure can, and you'll find them up in suburban markets and also handling lots of condos and townhomes down here.
Yeah, and the big reason that many subdivisions, many developers put HOAs in place when they do new construction is it does take it allows them to do amenities without putting that burden on the local government. Like, many local governments are not building new parks. What they're doing is they're looking to the developers.
That's right.
To put those into their developments when they're coming out of the ground. And there's got to be a body that maintains those, because the government doesn't want to take on the management of caring for another park.
And they're not going to tax other people that aren't going to use it. So if it's going to be in a neighborhood, let the neighborhood handle it.
Yeah,
Go for it.
and you're right. It is usually restricted use too. So
Yep. So the other thing too is that once this is an HOA is established, as someone who's paying dues, what are you actually getting from this HOA? What makes my life better with this?
well, in many instances, homeowners associations and management companies that they hire know how to care for things that a normal homeowner might not.
This is true.
And so when you buy in let's take a single-family subdivision, they might provide amenities such as pools and a clubhouse, and they might provide some gardens or parks like we talked about, or even hiking trails. And they can take on the management and the upkeep of that and spread that cost out over all of the owners in that association, making the cost of management and the cost of running it much smaller than if you were trying to do that on your own.
And the other thing too is that they can bid it out, because usually one management company doesn't just have a single one unless itself. And therefore they're able to go out and get bids and say, I have 6 different subdivisions you'd be handling, and therefore my bid should be lower. And it does. It comes out quite a bit lower than it would as if you were handling everything on your own.
Yeah, and the HOA takes on the duty of collecting the dues from all of the owners. They are the ones that are responsible for enforcement and even fining if they
Not the
need
fun
to.
part.
Yeah, it's not the fun part in it, but it's one of the reasons that you buy in the homeowners association is you want to preserve the value of your property, and you don't want to see your neighborhood go into a free fall decline.
Absolutely. And the thing is that when we are showing in certain areas, it's very evident when A, there is an HOA just because of the way that it's handled, or B, when it's not, and when the HOA is not engaging or is not handling what it should be. It is apparent. And so that kind of takes us into, before you actually get into an HOA, some of the things that we want to talk about of what you should know about an HOA before you get into. So these are things that not everybody thinks about, but your HOA has already thought about it. And so if you don't clearly articulate to us what you have that might fall into this category, we don't know what to look out for and make sure that the HOA isn't going to get you in a trouble spot.
Yeah, and HOAs vary from community to community.
Absolutely.
Their rules and regulations. Most of the articles of incorporation and the declarations are all kind of a rubber stamp, but when you get over into what is the responsibility and the rights of every owner, that's where it changes from community to community. And so, as Weston was pointing out, if you have work vehicles that you bring home, there are some homeowners associations that the rules do not allow you to park outside of your own garage on the driveway.
Correct.
You have to have the cars in the garage and the door closed. There are, privacy issues, and if you, depending on whether you want to use DirecTV or you're going to use cable, there have in many associations there are already rules about when you can fly flags, and not necessarily American flags because those have been exempted at this point, but there are rules about when you can fly holiday flags or when you can fly school flags, and that's important to a lot of people.
It is. The other thing to keep into consideration is people's four-legged kids. So if you're in a situation where you have large dogs or you have several dogs, that's one of those things you really want to make sure, because there are times when they limit weight and they limit number.
Yeah.
So,
and when you're buying into a homeowners association, you're going to receive all of those documents
yes,
from the seller.
There's no surprises.
The seller has a requirement to provide all of that to you, and then you've got a period that you get to review all of those documents and decide that you do want to buy in that.
Yeah.
And so, we encourage people when those come in, hey, this just arrived and you need to read through these and make sure there's nothing in them that is, going to be different than the way that you want to live.
The next point that we want to bring up is the most important one, and it's the one that we tell every single client that we have, is that you have to put it on your calendar and you have to attend all the HOA meetings. It is critical. It needs to be up there with going to the dentist, but you need to be there because you have to be made aware and know what's happening with bylaws. You have to know, is there something that they're going to pass as a special assessment so it's dealing with finances?
Yeah, and this is the HOA meetings. Many times what HOAs do is they'll have like one a quarter,
Right.
and they'll have an annual meeting, which is really the kind of the big, super important one to go to, because there are usually elections that occur at that one. And, people need to remember that the HOA is not this third party out there. The HOA is owned by all of the owners in that community or in that neighborhood, or whatever it encompasses. And so you as an owner are just as important as everybody else there. And so going to the HOA meetings gives you a chance to meet everyone there. It also gives you a chance to just kind of get a feel for how are they doing financially. And one of the things that you do not want to do when you are a member of a homeowners association is you do not want to stop paying your HOA fees. No matter how unhappy you might be, that is one thing you do not want to do.
So why would you not want to stop in Texas paying your HOA dues?
So we have a question. Can an HOA foreclose on your home in Texas for not paying dues? And the answer is yes. The Homeowners Association creates a lien that is junior to your mortgage. And so if you have a mortgage on your home and you stop paying your HOA fees, if your Homeowners Association initiates a foreclosure, that is going to initiate a foreclosure on your primary mortgage. And so you don't want to do that. If you don't have a mortgage on your property, you own it free and clear, you do not want to have the HOA foreclosed because they can end up owing your property. It does happen. It does happen. It happens. We read the foreclosure lists every month, and that is the lever that a homeowners association has in order to cause an owner to catch up on their HOA fees.
Yep. So don't get caught behind here in Texas.
Yep.
Everything's bigger, including foreclosures.
Yep. So the bottom line on homeowners associations is they provide continuity in the neighborhood. They help manage and maintain all your amenities. One of the great things is that you have the shared maintenance cost across all of them. And in many instances, you have a shared insurance cost because when you're buying an insurance policy for an entire building, it is going to be a lot cheaper on a per owner basis to have that type of coverage than if you had to buy that onesie twosie.
And I think at the end of the day, the homeowners association protects your home value, and they allow you more free time because you're not the one that's actually having to go to Home Depot. You're not having to coordinate with the landscaper. You're not having to do these things that you have hired them to handle for you. So
Yes. And so if you have questions about homeowners associations, please reach out to us. We're happy to help you. Even if you're not in the market to buy today, maybe you're planning to do something a year from now. And, a lot of first-time buyers jump off into the condominium market first. And, that's going to have a homeowners association attached to it. Give us a call and we'd be happy to talk to you about the ins and outs and do's and don'ts of that. So.
Well, that is about a wrap for today's second segment and for the show. We hope that you found it really helpful. We'd love to hear from you. So if you've got comments, if you have a topic, or just want to say hello, we're here, and we'd love to hear from you.
Absolutely. So thank you very much for tuning in today. We've had a great show, number 25. There are lots of ways out there that you can reach out to us, and we'd love for you to do it. Go to our Facebook page. You can like us there. You can also go to our Instagram account, which is Updike Pugh, and we usually post the different properties that we have for sale out there, and we try to keep it fun and light. And then also go to updikepugh.com as our website. There's lots of more detailed information there, and you can also set up home searches on our website. And homeprice.fyi, if you own a property and you want to get an instant value on it, just go to the website, put your address in, provide a couple of more pieces of info, and you'll get a value instantly. Last of all, reach out to us in very traditional ways, which is by phone or text, and we'd love to hear from you.
Thanks so much. And remember, we want to be your realtors for life.